This is Sandra Ayon. I don't know if this is too bright. Oh, it's the other one. Your home care provider. Um, it's a long day. It's gonna be a long day. I'm sorry, you guys. I just woke up a little while ago, and I was, I've been trying. So I'm drinking my coffee and smoking my cigarettes, right? And I bought this heating blanket at Walmart, and it kind of made me a little lazy. So I was like, you know what? I need to go back to bed. Actually, I can't go back to bed because I got quite a few things to do. I haven't done a video for a little while. I've been really busy, and as always, I like to when I go through stuff, I like to have a problem. Well, I don't like to have a problem. Nobody likes to have problems, right? When I have a problem, I like to I like to go through the problem. Um, I study it, and then I I go through it, and then I learn from it, and then that's when I share with you guys. Okay. This is really, really important, you guys, because I just found out I got married in October, and I traveled out to Idaho. I was helping a friend of mine relocate, and I got stopped by the police on my way back. Um, they stopped me for speeding. I thought it was an 80-mile-an-hour zone, and I was going 82, but it wasn't an 80-mile-an-hour zone. It was a 70. So the police officer stopped me, gave me a ticket for speeding, and then, as always, oh, I smell something funny. It's like, okay, whatever. Can we search your vehicle? It's like, sure, go ahead. Well, needless to say, they pretty much ransacked my vehicle. I found out that we don't have to give them permission, but because I have nothing to hide and nothing to fear, I was like, yeah, I don't care. Go ahead, do your job. They they did a sober test, which I haven't had one in a very, very long time. They did a sober test, and I'm on the side of the road, and they're like, well, walk 12 steps and then count your nose. And I told the officer, don't tell me about telling you the ABCs backwards because that's impossible. Not even a sober person can do that. Anyways, I passed all of that. Like I said, I had nothing to hide, nothing to fear, and I try to walk as normal as possible. I try to be a person of good moral character constantly. I try to check my actions before I think about things before I do them. So more or less, I had about a month to prepare. What my rights were, what they were accusing me of, and so on and so forth. And I found out that, sad to say, but um, people in that direction, this was Nevada that stopped me, and I traveled all the way out to Idaho. People in that direction don't like Californians, and that's sad because we're all people, but they don't. They live a different lifestyle. I'll give you guys an example. Everywhere you go, it's different, and I found this out when I'm here. I do numbers constantly. Numbers, numbers, numbers. Everything's surrounded by numbers. We were coming home, and my husband, and I tell my husband, I said, so we'll be home in about 40 minutes, right? And he says, 45. I said, about 45 minutes we'll be home. And he said to me, yeah, did you look? Like on the map question. I said, no. I said, I just saw a sign that says 144 miles to San Diego. And I divided, and then from your house, it's 78 miles or so to San Diego. So I subtracted the 78 miles from the 144 and get saw the speed he was going at and guesstimated based on his speed how long it would take us to get home to his house. So I'm constantly counting numbers, okay? And he said it was 40 minutes. I was 5 minutes off, which is still pretty good, you know? So when I was here, I like numbers, 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 constantly thinking about numbers. Then I went to Guadalajara. I went to TJ, and then I still had to count numbers, but it wasn't as many. Um, Basically, it was just the money. Then I traveled further into Mexico, and numbers wasn't so important anymore. It was more like the day. What day is it today? And then I traveled further into Mexico, and then it wasn't about numbers. It wasn't about the day anymore. It was more about, is it morning, afternoon, or night? What are we gonna do? It's lunchtime. What are we gonna do? It's 8 o'clock. So the further away I got from the United States is what I'm saying. Like here, where I live, which is what I'm used to, the further away I got from, you can kind of say reality. I got to appreciate my surroundings a little bit more. Um, so it's sad to say that as you travel away from what you're used to, people are different. Okay, and I found out, you know, out towards the skirts of it's called Elko County, about 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours from Idaho, which was my destination point. They are totally different, and they have different way of living, and I'm a Californian, so I have to adapt to that, right? But like I said, have nothing to hide. Everything's legit, I'm good. But people judge you. So that's what the police officers did. They judged me and accused me of many things which were unfounded. One of them says, what they found on my property once they searched my vehicle was a medication that I had. Okay, it's diazepam. Diazepam is oh my god, I'm trying to think of the generic name. Valium. It's Valium. Okay, and it's a prescription that's not in my name. It's in one of my patients' names, and I didn't know that I'm not supposed to carry someone else's prescriptions. Okay, some of you might say, "Well, what an idiot." Well, yeah, maybe I am. I don't care. I learn. Um, but there's a lot of people out there that probably don't know. And here's another one for you. I get ibuprofen, and I don't want to carry 20 bottles. And I sometimes I carry ibuprofen for my headaches or my pain. They give me muscle relaxers too, which I don't really use a lot of my medicine. I only use what's necessary because I'm a Mexican, and unfortunately we have the stigma against using medicine. But for example, when I'll mow my lawn, I know my body's going to be in pain, so I'll take two naproxens, which is like Aleve, that's the generic name, and then I'll take two muscle relaxers because I know my body's going to be hurting. I've been doing my front yard for over 25 years. So I prepare myself, right? So I found out that even if it's in my own medication, I consolidate. So I'll take 2 jars, and instead of carrying 2 jars, I'll put them all in one jar. Well, if there's more pills in a jar, then it says prescribed, even though it's in your name. And I found this out when I was coming across the border. I went to TJ, and the police officer said to me, the ones in the borderline, he said to me, there's more pills in there than there's supposed to be. I said, yeah, I consolidate. I don't really want to carry two jars. It's the same pill. I just don't want to carry two jars. So I put them all in one jar. But you can't do that. Okay, whatever. So I have 8 vehicles. 7 of them are functional, and one of them is a project. So every glove box of mine has Tylenol or ibuprofen or a muscle relaxer in there just in case, and an asthma pump because my kid has asthma. So I'm prepared, right? Okay, great. So I found that out too. Here's the other thing too. I mean, you look at me and you think people judge you when they look at you, right? I've been telling you guys to save, 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 even if it's 10%. I know it's hard. Save, save, save. This pandemic is not a joke. There's a lot of people that are struggling. It's Christmas. I just overheard something on the news that says that yeah, of course it's gonna spike. Look at the deaths that are occurring. They're getting higher and higher because this is family time. This is for us. Christmas and Thanksgiving is a time for us to get together with family that we haven't seen for many years or the year before. And of course, it's going to spike. I heard in a wedding, they had very minimal amount of people in a wedding, and some of them came out, positive for the coronavirus. My husband, my son, and I went to Riverside through his doctor, through my Medi-Cal and my son's Medi-Cal, and we got tested for coronavirus. Our results under LabCorp were um, ready in about 2 to 3 days because it's the internet. But we did this before Thanksgiving, and I got my results like 6 days later, where they called me and they gave me the information, and I can go now pick a paper up that says that I am negative for coronavirus, and my son and my husband. And then I can set another date so we can get tested weekly. Okay, so this coronavirus thing is gonna last a little while longer. I'm not gonna tell you guys what I think about all the things that they're trying to do as far as controlling it. To me, it's more of a what they want to do is they want to control our money, which is why everybody's like, oh, there's a shortage of change. The government wants to control the monetary, um, take away our right to say, well, you know what? I want to pay cash for this. They want to keep it all recorded. So it's not, sorry, I gotta sit up. It's not, it's not over yet. Here's the thing. When people judge you based on what you look like. Okay, so I've been telling you guys to save, 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 because it's not going to get any better. I have saved, and there was many things that upset the highway patrol, Nevada Highway Patrol, because a person that looks like me, that talks like me, that acts like me, is stereotyped as a loser. Um, why do I say loser? Because I come from a low income family. I come from a dysfunctional home. I come from having just one parent to take care of me, take care of us, because there was 3 of us. She did an amazing job, my mother. Um, we grew up in a really bad neighborhood. So the odds of someone like me actually being educated, actually being patient, and just staying quiet and not being, we call them, there's veteranas that are like old gangsters that still live the same way. There's one down the street that, oh my God, I'm embarrassed. You know, I look at her and I'm like, really, dude? Okay, I could understand you doing that when you were 20 or perhaps possibly even 30, but you're 50 something. You should change. But whatever, that's her problem. I don't care. Her daughter loves me. Um, they look at me and they judge me. The very first insult was for me, besides, because I was a gangster when I was growing up. And I literally used all the war makeup. I used the clothes. I was bad. Nobody messed with me, but I did it more to intimidate people. My raccoon eyes and just if I figured to myself, if I look scary enough, they'll leave me alone. And it did work until I had to actually, good morning, Ms. Leilani. Aloha. Until I had to get down and fight with somebody, then I did. And then I got lucky because I guess I beat up the most popular girl in the school, and then it was a lot easier for me. I still had to defend myself, and I've never lost a fight except once with a man, and that's when I decided not to do it again because I thought about my son. But I've changed, right? So when they looked at me, they judged me and they stereotyped me. And one of the officers said something like immigration's over there or whatever. And I looked at him and I said, what? He says, yeah, we have immigration. I said, you know what? I'm probably about the only Mexican that's not afraid of immigration because I know my rights. I've been here since I was 6 months old. I have all my education here, graduated from, high school, my college degree. I'm a home care provider, which means that I care for people. Not only that, not only am I a gangster, but I'm an educated gangster, and I've also been saved for 3 years now. So because of those three things combined is the reason that I'm standing here being polite to you and educated. And yeah, I'm upset. So do your job, tell me what's going to happen, and let's get on with it because I need to take care of my family. So he did. He looked at me, he got mad. I don't care. Um, like I said, do your job, give me what, punish me, and then we'll take it forward from there. Well, they did. They took me. He told me that we're going to take you, we're going to arrest you, we're going to take you to jail, we're going to process you and book you. Once we book you, we're going to give you a bail amount. Once we give you the bail amount, you can post the bail or borrow the money from a bail's bond, which I just found out how a bail's bond works, and then you can get released. They'll give you my keys. I hate it when they do that. They run up and down the street with. I'll just let it go. So bear with my alarms, okay? At least one of them. That one's really sensitive, which is good because people like that car. It'll go off in a minute. I don't want to get up. So they did all that. They took me in and then they told me that they're going to. See, I told you guys. It went off. So then they told me that they were going to release me once my bail was posted. Once I borrowed the money from a bail's bond. I said, okay. So they took me, they did everything. And okay, you guys, I told you guys I'm not I'm not a saint, okay? And I'm sitting there. They took away my bra because it had underwire in it, okay? So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh my God, I have absolutely nothing." I handed my wallet to my husband and I said the pins are this cuz mind you, I just got married, okay? These are the pins. Tell my son to send me $5,000. So he did and bail me out. So they took me in, they processed me, and then they sat me down. And the gentleman says to me, the young lady, she says to me, um, it took about, probably took about 20 minutes for me to take off all my piercings. Oh, I lost one. I got to replace it. It was just a total flashback, you guys, of things that somewhere I don't need to be. somewhere I left a long, long time ago, so my children would be better, have a better environment than I did, grow up better, and I did great. My sons are beautiful, you know. I taught them respect and have given them a little bit more than what I had. So when the I told the young lady, so how does this work? You know, acting dumb because I'm like, I don't know how this works. Sometimes sometimes it pays to play stupid. Okay. She said, well, your bill is $3,640. I said, okay, is that all? Cocky. She says, yeah. I go, and how does that work? Can I get my money back? Because I'm fighting this. She says, yeah, you can once they find you innocent of the charges. I said, okay, that's cool. So what do I do now? She says, well, here's the phone numbers for a bail bond. You can call them and they'll lend you the money to get you out. Okay, and how does the bail bond work? So they told me, well, because I want to get my money back. You guys want $3,600 from me. I want my money back because I know I'm innocent. I didn't do anything. I want my money back. If anything, I'll pay for the speeding ticket, but that's pretty much it. Okay. So she says they'll charge you like 15%. They'll post your bill. They'll let you go. And then you come back to court. And I guess I'll be like on dog something, bounty, whatever. Yeah, like I'm going to run. Nah. Said, okay, so I can pay somebody, but the Bell's bond will not give me my money back. And I said, okay, so I can pay somebody 15% of my bill just to get me out. Says, yeah, because you don't have the money for it. Okay. Well, you know what? I need my phone call. I need my phone call. Says, well, here's the numbers for the Bell's bond. I said, oh no, I need to call home. I'm not going to pay somebody to lend me money to release me when I have saved and been responsible enough to post my own bail. But because I'm inside, I can't do anything. So all I can do is a phone call and try to micromanage from inside outside. And that's what I did. Well, they got mad because a person like me, stereotyping me as a gangster, does not have the capability of having that type of money. And yeah, no, I do. I saved. I told you guys I saved. I think it's 2 years now. My jackpot that I won for my birthday, I still have it, you guys, because I want my office. I want my office. I promised you guys. I just spent about $2,000 again on a computer and $800 computer for you guys to come in, log in, and work on that computer. Um, when my office is open, I bought a $700 printer, because if you need copies, there's the copies. The cartridges are $200. So every penny that I have earned while working for you providers and recipients, I've saved you guys. And that's what saved me. That's what saved me. Well, they got mad. They were angry because, no, it's not possible. In the middle of a pandemic, you have that type of money. Yeah, I've saved. I'm sorry. So good and dandy, they released me the next day because they were mad. They prolonged the paperwork. Now, mind you, I'm sitting in a cell by myself. I know how the rules work in prison, okay? Just keep your mouth shut and stick to your own kind. Sad to say, but that's the way it is. I did. I kept my mouth shut. My toes were so cold, you guys, that I literally grabbed toilet paper and wrapped toilet paper around my toes because I was freezing. I covered myself. I heated it up. At one point, I just raised my hands up in the air and I said, okay, Lord, whatever you want to do, do it, man, because I can't do anything from in here. I can't. And he worked it out and he got me out. My husband was waiting outside for me. My girl was waiting outside for me. I was more worried about the baby. I was more worried about my husband. I was more worried about them being okay than me being inside because I was just worried. I'm a worry wart, okay? And I care about the people that sit underneath me and I'm used to being in control and making sure that everything gets done that I had to worry. But at one point, I just raised my hands and I said, "Well, what the hell can I do? I can't do anything. Sorry, whatever, Lord, do whatever you want. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep." I did. So they had. I'm not sure what the first. There's two different courts that they had me go to. They sent me my paperwork. They gave me my paperwork once they released me, and they said you have court on the 2nd of December and you have court on the 7th of December. And I'm thinking, why can't you guys put it in one court? I don't live around the corner. It's a 10, 11 hour drive. But you know what? At that point, I was like, let me get the hell out of here. I tried calling those courthouses. They weren't answering. Can you just give me the same court date? So I ended up leaving. I made a really good trip of it too. So what I did is I had court on the 2nd, which I think was Wednesday. I moved my vehicles and I left that same day because it was Tuesday, and you guys know I hate Tuesdays. So I had to move all my vehicles on Tuesday. Went and rented a vehicle and was on the road. I got to my first destination point, which was Elko. I rented a room. I got to Elko and slept for about 2 hours, maybe. Yeah, about 2 hours. Got up. My first court was at 8 o'clock in the morning. I went in. Apparently, when I got to the front, you know how they have the tiny, rinky dinky little courthouse because the population is small. Well, I told the young lady at the bailiff or whatever she is standing by the machine. I said, "Okay, how does this work? What do you want me to do?" Now, mind you, I have an attitude. I'm angry. I'm pissed off because it's unfair. I haven't slept. We drove all night. Slept a couple of hours or less than that. No coffee, no Danish, no nothing. I told my husband, "Let's go, let's go, let's go," and we left. So I'm a little upset. Sorry. And well, you do this and that. They already have an attitude. I could care less. Let me get the hell out of here. I want to go home. I want to go to Vegas because after going to court, what we ended up doing was I rented they gave me rooms. They comped me rooms at the Stratosphere. So we ended up going to the Stratosphere for 3 days, and it was great down there too. So after the 3 days, guess what? That was a 7-hour drive. So from my home to Elko, which is Nevada, the skirts of Nevada, I think it was like a 9-hour drive. Okay. And then once we got done with that court, we went another 7-hour drive to Vegas, stayed in Vegas for 3 days, and then another 7-hour drive back to this county is called Wells, whatever. So there was a lot of driving. I think I put like 2,000 miles on that vehicle that I rented, which was cool. So we went to court. I sat there. Well, they dismissed. I can't remember what that charge was for. I don't care. I wanted my money back. They dismissed um, that charge, and I asked them. They said, "Well, you can go. The charge has been dismissed and it's been dropped." I said, "Okay, well, can I have a piece of paper that says that says that my case has been dismissed? Because I want that proof with me, right?" At this point, I don't know what they're charging me for. All I know is I paid them $3,600. So they reimbursed me a $2,500 check, 2,500. It wasn't in my name. It was in my husband's name because he's the one that posted the bill. So he's the one that had to go get the check. He's the one that had to go deposit the check and cash the check. He knows it's my money. I know he's going to give it to me. It's a headache, right? So I said, you know what, babe, let's go back to the room. Let's go just lay down. Let's rest. Let me get myself organized. And then we'll leave in the morning back to Vegas and come back again because I have court on Monday again. So I made those arrangements. So we drove 7 hours to Vegas, had fun, talked to a few people down there that needed help, and then I went to go play with the machines, ching 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 ching, you know. And then now it's Sunday, and we have to check. Oh, wait a minute. I'm always working, right? They finally authorized my timesheets from October of last year, which is something I wanted to tell you guys. I should probably do a different video. If you have timesheets backed up, you need to do your timesheets for this You need to do them before the 31st of December, because if they do not get processed, actually it's not even the 31st of December. It takes about 4 to 5 days. If you do not do your timesheets and they do not get processed in this year, they will count as income for next year even though they're from last year. So I have timesheets from October of 2019 that I just did. I did over 50 timesheets, you guys, because they owed me. I sat there, I'm like, okay, well, I don't have a desk, so I took out the ironing board, took off the iron because don't need the iron, and I set up my little desk right there in front of the view of the stratosphere. Beautiful. Sat there for about 4 hours. I did over 50 timesheets the next day in the morning, on Sunday morning, because we have to leave. I entered the 50 hours and the 50 timesheets in the system. So now it's, what's today? Wednesday? And I usually move my vehicles today, but I don't have any vehicles across the street. So that's why I'm laying here. Half of those timesheets, well, about 25 timesheets, have been processed. Okay. And so far, I've seen these are Chuck's timesheets that they owe me. There's still half that hasn't been processed, and I'm already up at $18,000. But I'm not getting $18,000 because Chuck has a share cost of $1,600. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the net to come through, which is cash that they're going to be giving me. But this is share a cost, and share a cost is a little bit more complicated. There's videos I have on share cost. Take a look at it. But I already knew this. So all that income is counted towards me, even though Chuck doesn't pay me that money. Chuck doesn't make that much money. So I'm not really making money. I'm kind of losing, but it counts as income. So if I want to do my taxes next year, I have income. Okay, so I had to make sure that all of those timesheets get processed this year so that I can go ahead and do taxes next year. Otherwise, all of those timesheets, if I were to wait until January and file them in the next year, they're going to count as income for 2021 on top of the income that I'm going to get. And now, instead of only making, I think with Chuck, because I only have 170 hours or so, I think with Chuck, it's going to be about $30,000 a year. Okay. Now, if I didn't do them this year, for next year, it would count as 60,000, 30 for to 2021, and another 30 that I should have filed the year before. So it's imperative that you guys, if you guys have timesheets, go ahead and do them so that they count for the year 2020, not 2021. I have a couple of cases like that I'm working on, that I got to do them as quickly as possible so that they count as income for 2020 instead of 2021. Anyways, so I sat there and I did all my timesheets, and I'm like, yay! It's horrible because it's travel time also. And I said, okay, I feel accomplished. Let's go. So we went back to Wells. This is what I wanted to tell you guys, and I'm so sorry that I talk and talk and talk, but it all has a link. It all relates. Everything I'm telling you guys, if you guys pay attention, it all relates. It's all the same. It comes to a full circle. And I'm sorry because a lot of people don't have the patience to listen. But I hope you guys learned something. So we went back to Wells. Monday morning, my court was at 10. I had everything in order. Cold, cold, cold out there. We went to the courthouse. At this point, the paperwork that I prepared for myself to show them that I'm allowed to carry, that I'm a home care provider and I'm allowed to carry medication because I have to issue it. I totally, the medication I had in my possession, possession, was a medication that I totally forgot I had in there. Okay, I I couldn't remember. So I shouldn't have had it with me. But I'm also a home care provider, and I administer this medication, so I should have some kind of a right to carry the medication. Okay? So I pulled out all my paperwork. The paperwork that I'm talking about is my power of attorney that I have for my patients. Okay? Because in the power of attorney, and here it is, sad to say, good morning, Natalie. The To this day, it is now November, and it has been 8 months. December, I'm sorry, and they still haven't cremated John. Okay, it's sad. I have power of attorney, but they've been attacking me in so many different ways for doing the right thing that I have to focus on my job, which is you guys, the people that I help every month to make a living. I also have to work. I just finished my unemployment. I now need to get back to work. So I'm not saying that I did everything I had to do in order for John to get cremated, and for some reason somebody's holding it up, and I have other things that I have to do. Yeah, it is. It is ridiculous. And you know what? At this point, Leilani, I just got to keep moving forward, and it's sad and it breaks my heart, but it is what it is, and I just got to keep moving forward. So, the paperwork that I got together for myself was the power of attorney. I also pulled out my notice of action that they send me telling me, Sandra, your patient has X amount of hours and you're allowed to work X amount of hours per week. And then behind that paper, it also, and with an X, it marks what you are allowed to do. Uh, you know, Domestic, doctor appointment, I think it says grocery store, the massaging, blah, blah, and all the duties that we're allowed to do. And what I was basically looking for, hold on, are you leaving? Okay, call me when you get out. Okay, I'll be here. Good morning. I know, yeah, I'm gonna get the Christmas lights out. I know, me too. Okay, I'll see you later. Have a good day. So what I did, my girl, she's going to work. She's like my daughter, Anna. She's amazing. So I'm sorry about that. We got to put up our Christmas lights. I don't know what it's gonna look like, but I'm gonna give it that team effort. Power of attorney, my rules and responsibilities as a home care provider, and the things that I'm allowed to do for my patient, because my authorized representative letter that says that I'm authorized to represent my patient, and then his notice of action that says the hours that he's supposed to be getting and what his provider is supposed to be providing for him. Okay. Now, I took a set of the not I took, and I also because I have all that paperwork there. I pulled out for the past 2 years, because I've stayed with many patients, every single employer that I've had, all the way back to about 10 of them. Why did I do that? Because this shows consistency of employment. This shows consistency of having to do perform the same job over and over and over again. This shows all the duties that I am allowed to do for my patients. So I pulled out about a 2 year history of, or three, I don't remember because I went as far back as I could, of all the people that I've worked for. And I made a copy of all those letters, the originals for me and the copies for the judge, just in case I have to leave it there for him. A copy of the notice of action that my recipient received, and the original, a copy of all the duties that I'm allowed to do for that particular recipient for the medication that I was carrying, and a copy for the judge, and a copy, the original, and a copy of the power of attorney that allows me to do all of this stuff. Power of attorney is a little bit better, is better, but let me tell you, when I looked at, and I made a stack of the originals for me and a copy for the judge. Here you go, you can have that. And it was a stack, let me put this down. It was a stack about that big, okay? Maybe about an inch. I don't care. You can keep it. Um, but I wanted to prove to the judge that, look, I'm allowed. And I spent a night in jail, and it was horrible, and I didn't do anything. So here's my proof. Now, I don't tell you guys everything. I tell you guys what I think is going to help you. In that notice of action. Sorry, let me change. I gotta get me tired. In that notice of action, as under medications, it doesn't say that we're supposed to administer medications to our patients. It says that we're supposed to set up medications. And I said, well, whatever. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna do it. But I have my power of attorney, which also gives me more ability to do more things for him. And I went to court. I sat there. They, you know what, you guys, I'm not the smartest. I'm not the smartest, but I'm not the dumbest either, you know. And I'll tell you what, I had to listen to every single word that judge said. If I didn't understand, because I'm not that smart, I'm sorry. Okay, can you repeat that one more time? Because those are really big words. At this point, I don't care how I look as long as I can understand what they're telling me. There's a book that's called Common Sense, and it's written by Thomas Paine, and I read it for my history class, and uh it's a pamphlet. It's very skinny, very very tiny, but it was a bit, that pamphlet impacted America. Let's see, they used to call them the blue coats and the red coats. Americans were the blue coats, and the British was the red coats, and we were still living under their um, rulings, even though they were like far, far off, right? Well, this pamphlet that was written by Thomas Paine was a big factor in telling the blue coats, which were the Americans, hey, we're tired of living under British rule. We've been living by ourselves, and we're just getting governed by like overseas, way out there. We need to stand up and fight, or continue to live on our knees. And one of the biggest things that I remember in that pamphlet, because I read it very slowly because I wanted to understand it. I think I read it like 2 times, like the paragraph, just so I could comprehend, was in order for us to have rights, we need to sacrifice a little bit of our freedom, and we have to choose the lesser of two evils. In order to have freedom, you have to sacrifice. In order to have freedom, in order to have order, you have to sacrifice a little bit of your freedom. If we don't have order in our society, it's chaos. And basically, what I understood was I have to give up a little bit of my rights in order to have order so we can function as a society, move forward. So when the The judge was reading those to me. He put me in that predicament. I had two counts against me. And there was he explained it to me and he said, there's a declaration that says, if you admit that you're guilty to one of these counts, we will dismiss the other. And I teared up. No, I'm not sad. I'm angry. I'm angry because I didn't do anything. So that's when I looked at him and I said, "So you're telling me to pick the lesser of two evils? That's what you're telling me." Like the pamphlet Common Sense by Thomas Paine. When I said that, the judge's eyes like they 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 widened because we have our freedom as Americans from the War of 1812, which I suggest you guys look at because that's part of the reason why we have fireworks for the 4th of July. It's another big story. But he realized that he wasn't dealing with a fool. Maybe I don't know all those big words, and I still don't know what a declaration is, but he explained it to me, and I had to do that. And I picked the lesser of two evils. And I said, fine, I'm guilty of carrying the medication. Why did I pick that charge? Because if that charge comes up again, remember, I have power of attorney. I have my my notices of actions from my patients that says I'm allowed to do this. I can still fight. Look, you guys, I'm a home care provider. I administer medication. I have power of attorney. I have the right to do. I can still say, look, and the person that's questioning me will go, well, yeah, it's a misdemeanor, but you're right. You are a home care provider, and yeah, you do have. So they're gonna look at it, and it's gonna stay in my record, but they're also gonna understand why I had that with me. And the other count got dismissed. So at the end, the judge tells me, is there anything that you would like to tell the courts before I make judgment? And I said, yes, I want to thank you for taking the time of explaining everything to me. This trip has cost me a lot more than what you're going to reimburse me for, which was $1,140 plus the $2,500 that I already got back. There's my entire $3,640 of bail that I posted. And the only thing that I do see that I lost, besides more money trying to get rooms and whatever, was a night in jail. My freedom. My freedom is so valuable to me that that's actually what killed me the most. The lack of control, the lack of having the opinion or the ability to do something because I'm behind bars and I can't do anything but pick up a phone and hope that whoever I'm calling, which I don't remember the numbers except my son's number, because these cell phones keep records of everything, and I don't have a cell phone in jail. Okay, so that's pretty much what I lost, which is actually pretty big, but considering it was semi minimal, I suppose. I told them thank you for for explaining everything to me, and thank you for being sympathetic and empathizing with me. Which I'm sorry for crying. I'm very upset because you don't understand how difficult it is for a person to be of good moral character coming from a background that I come from. So when I received my green card, it was one of the proudest moments of my life because that gave me the ability to become a functional member of society. And that's all I've been trying to do, despite my background. And all I do, even though I can't vote, all I do is go and educate my children, which are nowhere near what I used to be. Yesterday, my son, I have him have a little job. The guy told me, "Is that your son?" And I said, "Yeah." I think. I don't know. We need to get a DNA test done because I don't think he looks like me. And he says, because he is nothing like you. I was like, what do you mean? He's very polite, very honest. Like, well, that's because I beat him, you know? But yeah, we need to get a DNA test done. But it feels so good that I someone else can tell me, you've done a great job with your children, even though you're crazy. You've done a great job with your children. So it's amazing, you know? But this entire, so I've been thinking, and it's like 9 o'clock, and I'm sitting in my bed, and I'm drinking my coffee and smoking my cigarettes. Um, I need to share this with you guys. We're not allowed to carry medications. Um, the best thing that I can think of is getting a letter from, making a letter yourself and having your recipient sign it and saying that it's okay for you to carry the medication. That officer took me in because I didn't have proof of that. And he tried. He tried to get me, and he couldn't. But I had to now have a misdemeanor on my record. I paid the $200 ticket for speeding. Not a problem. Here you go. The hell with you guys. Here's the thing though. Remember, I have a green card. Okay? I don't know what immigration's going to do because when I applied for my green card, I told them that I promised I would not. One of the rules is you cannot be a burden to the state. And I haven't been a burden to the state. Yes, I've told you guys that I've been on welfare and gotten food stamps and cash aid and, a bunch of other programs, but they haven't given me anything. They give it to my sons if they qualify. My 15-year-old is an MFG child, which meant that if I were to get pregnant, if I was receiving aid, which I was for my first son, and I got pregnant, the state would not give me money for my next child. And this rule was in effect, I want to say, for at least 10 years. So the only aid I have ever gotten literally is from my older son. Now I just get Medi-Cal. And now I'm not going to even qualify for Medi-Cal because all of these timesheets just came in, which, mind you guys, it's that income that they're counting that I'm getting that I'm not getting because Chuck has a share cost. And it's just a ladder. But the thing is, what is immigration going to tell me? You're a burden to the state. You just cost us court cases. There's restitution fines. And even at that point, I wanted to tell the judge, you guys have caused me such an inconvenience. You guys get restitution for your courts. What about me? Can I get restitution for the extra rooms that I had to rent that night? Um, the extra gas, the heartache, the headache. Can I get restitution for that? But when that judge explained the way that he explained, I just basically took my losses and said, okay, Lord, whatever. I'm still blessed. He he helped me. He's widened my thinking. I I know I looked at my, there's a lot of stuff that I need to do, you guys. There's a lot of stuff I need to do, and I thank you guys because for some reason you guys are understanding enough to know that I am just a regular home care provider like you guys are. Okay? I have bills to pay, I have rent to pay, I have food to put on my table. I got to get up and see if Chuck is awake right now. My son is working, so hopefully he gets up in a little bit, but that old man went to sleep late. I change his underwears. I give him a bath. I shave him. I sit there and chit chat with him because he likes to talk to me, or listen to. I'm his TV. I'm just normal like you guys are. I'm the same person like you guys are. I work hard just like you guys do. I work smart, which is what I want to teach you guys. Work smart. Um, it's hard. This life is hard, and I'm not perfect. They even want to take off my dentures when I was in jail. So I'm not gonna take those off. I just put glue on those. What do you mean take them off? You know how much it hurts to take them off? No. But they let me keep them. Can you imagine? I don't look like this. This is what I look like when I wake up in the morning. And it's like I have makeup all over me. But I wanted to share with you guys because it upset me. It upset me that they treat us like this. IHSS does not have. I bought the masks to show people that we're IHSS workers. I need to I want to make a badge. I have to think about this. I want to make a letter. I want to make a letter for now medications. I want us. I received, where is this thing at? Where's my phone? Last night or yesterday afternoon or whatever, I got a text message that says, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Imminent danger, whatever. Where are you? Imminent severe alert. Okay, I know you guys got it. It says State of California, new public health stay at home order in your area. COVID-19 is spreading rapidly. Stay home except for essential activity. Wear a mask and keep your distance. We're not being IHSS workers are not being recognized as IHSS workers. Good morning, my husband. So I want to, you guys, but I just have so much to do. So much to do. And my brain is like constantly overloaded. But we're not being recognized and we're not being. What do you have to wear? Scrubs? I'm not going to wear scrubs. I don't want to wear scrubs. I want to wear my regular clothes. But if I have to wear scrubs, I'll wear scrubs. What do we have to do to prove that we're also essential workers? I need milk. There's like this little bit of milk left in the refrigerator for Chuck because he has cereal and bananas in the morning. I have to go to the store. What am I going to get stopped and I have nothing on me? So I'm working on it, you guys. I'm really working on it. I'm investing. God, that alarm is so sensitive. I'm investing. I'm trying really hard, but I also have my own stuff that I got to deal with. I'm going to put up some Christmas lights. It's not going to be as beautiful as it was 2 years ago, but I'm going to try. I'll get on a ladder, 2 stories. I'll figure something out. But I'm just like you guys are. I'm just like you guys are. And I want to share what I'm going through because if it helps you, then you'll you'll be a better person than I am. You'll have a better outcome than I am. I'm not the smartest. I'm not the dumbest. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I am a tool. So let's keep moving forward. Let me work on these things. I have my own love life and my own family life, and I'm still here to help you. If this video helps someone with everything that I've just said, then go ahead and share it. I'm not aiming to be number one, okay, but I want to be your number one. That's that's all. There's other people out there that are doing what I'm doing. Be careful with what they have. The one that pays the price ultimately is you guys. Make sure you check your sources. Make sure you find out. I do consultations. I do charge you guys for my consultations because it's my time. This video is almost an hour long. If you watched it all, that's amazing. If you didn't, that's amazing too. Whatever you need, skip to it. My husband said the other day, I want to watch this girl on YouTube that I love. We got to watch her. And he went straight to my channel and I was like, no, I don't want to hear me. I don't want to hear me. Um, I don't want to hear me. I hear enough of me. But he likes to watch it. And I'm like, okay, but he loves me. So I'm like, okay, go ahead. I want to watch something else. So, um, I may wear fake eyebrows. I may wear fake eyelashes. I may wear fake eyes. I may wear, have fake teeth. But I'll tell you what, all of that stuff is just exterior. And on the inside, it's all solid. It's all real. And I'm not gonna, like he says, fake the funk. I'm gonna do what I do, and I'm going to keep being who I am. And if you're wrong, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. And if you're right, I'm going to tell you you're right. And if we could do something about it, I'm going to tell you what I would do if I was in your shoes. And that's why I've been so successful. I thank God for all the knowledge He gives me. And it was cold, you guys, in that cell. It was cold, cold. And I still had faith. I still have faith. You know what, Lord? Get me out of here, man. I want to go home. Get me out of here. I'd probably go through it all over again just to be able to teach someone. Sometimes somebody has to do the dirty work. That's just the way it is. So, my phone number is 562-281-3219. Give me a call. If you need some help, I'll answer the phone if I can. If I can't, then I'll get back to you and I'll try to help you with what I can. Um, we're here to help each other out. Remember, I'm no better than you are. I'm just the same like you are, going through the same things. So, God bless you guys. I hope this helps. Subscribe, share it, comment. I'll get back to you. Um, whatever it is that I can do to help. God bless you guys. I gotta fix my cars. There's a few things on my cars I gotta fix. So, that, and I gotta put all the paperwork together because I got all the share cost letters that tells Chuck, what you got to pay for this amount of money. I got to put them together with the check stubs that say do not pay on them. That was so funny yesterday. And it's all the checks. And look, you know what? Let me get up real quick because I have them here. Because my son asked me for them yesterday. Hold on, hold on. Let me just aim at the wall. Because I want you guys to see this. My son asked me for them yesterday. He said, "So, Mom, how much money am I getting?" Money. Remember, my son works for Chuck too, right? I'm gonna turn the camera so you guys can see. My bed's a mess. Sorry, I've been laying in here. I need you guys to see. You see how they're all. There's another one. Do not pay. Here's another one. Do not pay. Here's another one. Do not pay. Do you guys see all of those? Wait, here. This is so funny. Because I want you guys to see. There is a stack, you guys. Look at this stack. Look at this stack. It's raining. They're all, there's, right here, I think there's like 28 of these. It's terrible. It's terrible. Let me turn this so you guys can see. I'm not kidding. Look at all of these are checks. They're all checks. Okay? And that's Theo over there. I found Theo over there. Let me see if we can zoom into Theo. That's my ashtray. Those are all the cigarettes. Theo's been keeping me company. You see all of that? Those are all do not pay, do not pay, do not pay, do not pay. Not negotiable, do not pay. Bye, honey. Blessing to you too. Have a good Christmas, okay? I'll talk to you soon. Let me know if there's anything I can help you, Leilani. It's just the process, you guys. And now I gotta put all of these together with the letters that say, Mr. Chuck, you have to pay Edwin and Sandra this amount of money because it is your responsibility to pay it. Whatever. I don't do this for the money anyways. All right, you guys. God bless you guys. Have a beautiful day, and let me know if there's anything I can help you guys with. When I get up, take a shower, put on the other piercing I'm missing, and just keep going. I love you guys. Be good. Bye.